Ahead, Manager Pistorius.
Okay. I'm going to call the monthly board meeting of the Shell Rock River Watershed to order. Please call the roll.
Manager Pasuski.
Aye.
Manager Bakken.
Aye.
Manager Kramer.
Aye.
Manager DeBoer.
Here.
Manager Pistorius.
Here. First item is the consent agenda. And these are the items that we'll just have a discussion about. And I understand, Andy, you're going to adjust it a little bit.
Yes, Mr. Chair, on the consent agenda, I would like to pull out item F, which is the authorization of payment to project fund disbursement, and put it under my items under item K.
Okay. Any other changes to the consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with that change?
So moved. This is Brad.
Do I have a second?
Second, Joe.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Leah, call the roll.
Manager Pasuski.
Aye.
Manager Bakken.
Aye.
Manager Kramer.
Aye.
Manager DeBoer.
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye. Item 3, approval of agenda. Again, Andy, you have some changes.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I have a few changes. First change is under administrator's items, item H. This should read, a motion to approve the research of a line of credit with US Bank. The second one would be, I would like to add item I, which is a motion to approve continued services with Americana Insurance. I would like to add item J, which is a resolution 2021-01, the MPCA Clean Water Loan Application. And as mentioned in the consent agenda, I want to add item K, which is a motion to authorize payment of project fund disbursements after the financial technician subtracts out Vites Pay App 19 for $80,460.58.
Okay, that's a number of changes. Anyway, we need a motion to approve the agenda now with those changes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Brad here.
Okay. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Manager Pasuski.
Aye.
Manager Bakken.
Aye.
Manager Kramer.
Aye.
Manager DeBoer.
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye. Okay, Andy.
Yes, Mr. Chair and board managers. First item on the agenda is a bunch of housekeeping items, but the first is a motion to approve the audit services with Hill, Larson, Wolf, and Benda. Hill, Larson, Wolf, and Benda have been doing our audits for quite a few years and want to continue with their services.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve that? Hill, Larson, and Benda.
Manager Bakken here. I'll introduce that motion.
Is there a second? Okay, I think we had a second. So any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do
We
we
still
need to call
do
the
a roll
roll?
call, Manager Pistorius.
Do we need to do one every time?
We do because we're virtual.
Okay, so then,
Manager-
excuse me.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Manager Pasuski. Manager Bakken.
Aye.
Manager Kramer.
Aye.
Manager DeBoer.
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank
Hey, Andy.
you. Thank you, managers and Mr. Chair. Item B is a motion to approve continuous services with Briggs and Morgan Professional Association. This is our attorneys that we use for personnel issues. We've used them in the past and would like to have a motion to continue services with Briggs and Morgan on a as needed basis.
Someone care to make that motion?
I would make that motion, Joe.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Leah, call the roll.
Manager Bestuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and managers. Item C is a motion to approve continued services with Peterson, Coker, Haight, and Benda Ltd. Again, these are our local attorneys that we have used for many years and want to continue to use their legal services.
Okay, is there a motion to approve that?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second, Joe.
Any discussion? Leah, call the roll.
Manager Bestuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and managers. Item D is a motion to designate the Albert Lee Tribune as the district's official legal newspaper. Again, these are house keeping items that we do every year. So again, looking for a motion to designate the Tribune as the official legal newspaper.
This is Joe. I would make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Manager Bestuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and managers. Item E is a motion to designate U.S. Bank as our depository for the district funds.
So moved.
Second, Joe.
Okay, any discussion? Call the roll.
Manager Bestuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and managers. Item F is the 2021 session priorities, and I'm going to turn this over to Judy. Good morning, Judy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year, I guess, or into 2021. I won't take a lot of time this morning. Legislative session started last week, and we technically go until the end of May. So the session is going to be, it's the budget year, and that will be one of the top priorities of the legislature this year. It's gotten off, as we have seen, everything has kind of gotten off to an interesting start to our legislative proceedings this year, including in Minnesota. Some of the top issues that are going to sort of dominate the session will include, not only include the work on the budget, but there'll be the discussion on the governor's continued discussion on a probably daily basis every time the legislature is in session about the governor's emergency powers, election issues, those kinds of things are going to kind of be overshadowing a large a part of the work this year. For the Shell Rock, though, our priorities are the Fountain Lake bonding bill, the $7.5 million. And I'd like to just report to you all this morning that in working with Representative Bennett last week, we are getting the new bill for 2021 ready for bill introduction. And then Andy and I are meeting with Senator Dornick later this week to talk to him about not only the work that the Shell Rock River Watershed District does, but also about the bonding bill. So those are kind of, that's where we're at. We talked about the other issues last month, including the Lessard Sam's Outdoor Heritage Project and the LCCMR funding. Those two are also, will be moving through the legislative process this year. So we have a number of things that we will be involved with. In terms of the outlook for bonding, there's always a small bonding bill in this session. How big that's going to be, what that's going to look like, we're not going to know for a little bit, but we thought it was important to lay the groundwork and to stay engaged on bonding. And so that's what we're going to be spending quite a bit of time on here early on in the session. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, or if there's anything else, Andy, you wanted me to touch on.
No, Judy, I think those are of course, the highlights. Of course, we're going to be pushing as hard as we can to try to get into that small bonding bill this year. But definitely it also puts us then in play for 2022 when we should see a rollout of a larger bonding bill. However, that doesn't help us keep Brennan here as we move forward into what we potentially want as phase 3. But it allows us to look at some other opportunities.
Right, and I do want to add that in large part, the legislative session will be virtual, which creates a number of, everything takes a little bit longer, but all of our legislative meetings will be via Zoom. And a lot of the hearings, everything will be, remote, virtual, until people are hoping we could go back to have some sort of normalcy in April or May. And that I think depends on the rollout of the vaccine. So we could be in for, several months of virtual legislating here.
Any questions for Judy from the managers? All right, hearing none. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item G, the confined disposal facility, CDF cells 2 and 3. I want to give you guys a little bit of a update and highlights as we continue this process. As many of you are aware, with prior updates, we had issues with both cells 2 and cell 3. Both of those issues were berm failures. The berm failure in cell 2 was in the southeast corner of cell 2, and the berm failure on cell 3 was in the northwest corner of the berm. We have worked with Vite, our contractor, and Ramball, the engineer, to work together to get both of those issues resolved as far as getting them reconstructed and hopefully ready for use in 2021. Unfortunately, as we know that those fixes all come with a cost, and in order to get all the players and their insurance companies to the table to resolve who pays for the fixes, litigation will be starting here involving both Ramball and Vite. The district also has engaged outside counsel to help with this litigation. We remain hopeful that all parties will come together and work together to resolve these issues, but it is an ongoing process. And we'll just have to see, and follow this and keep the board updated as we move forward throughout this process. So to give an update there, again, there is some cost to those fixes. I want to say, we're looking at roughly 600,000. So trying to work with both parties to see how that's going to get paid for. Next is item H, which is a motion to approve the research of a line of credit with US Bank. Mr. Chair, looking for a motion on this and then we can discuss.
Okay, someone care to make the motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We are in discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, this motion is looking at a line of credit with US Bank. We're looking for a line of credit, or researching a line of credit of up to $1 million. Again, this would help the district with any short-term cash flow issues that we have as we move into 2021 and into the final stages of the dredge project, along with all the multiple other projects the district has through its grant sources. If you remember, through our grant sources, most of our grants have to be paid up front and then are reimbursed after we request reimbursement. So there is a potential that we could have a cash flow issue somewhere around September, and we're looking at ways to bridge that cash flow issue. This is one of them. Again, we're not asking you to approve it at this time. We're just asking you to allow the staff here to research it and bring maybe recommendations back to the board.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I've done some preliminary research with Dan and staff a little bit, so I'd like to be involved in that committee to secure the funds.
Okay. Any other discussion? Or questions or? Hearing none, I guess we'll call the roll.
Manager Pasuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and managers. Item I is a motion to approve continuous services with Americana Insurance. Americana Insurance is the local insurance agency that works with us on our insurance needs, and we would like to continue services with Americana Insurance.
Someone like to make that motion?
I make that motion, Joe.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Manager Pasuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and managers. Item J is a resolution 2021-01, the MPCA Clean Water Loan Application. If we can get a motion and a second, we will then discuss.
Okay. Someone care to make that?
So moved.
Andy? Yeah, it's
Okay.
actually resolution 2021-02.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, and we have a motion and a second? Or not, Leah?
Do I have Manager DeBoer as a first?
Yes.
And who was my second?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Okay, we are in discussion.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Again, this application is looking at a possible bridge for if we run into some cash flow issues in 2021. This would be option one of the two options that we're looking at right now. The other one is the line of credit from US Bank. This resolution includes the MPCA Clean Water Loan application for the Fountain Lake Restoration Project. This is a loan application through the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency at 0% interest. It includes a 10-year payback if the district so wishes. Again, we believe that this application fits our Fountain Lake restoration goals. So the staff will be working on putting together the application and submitting that to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. It is based on a scoring system, and it's also kind of based on first come, first serve. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, I believe, has roughly $5 million within this program this year. So the district is going to be looking at requesting somewhere between 750,000 to 1 million. Again, this will help with our cash flow as we move throughout the year, and definitely helps us then continue with the other grant projects that we have scheduled for 2021. With that, Leah, if you want to read the resolution, please.
Resolution 2021-02, MPCA proposal submission approval. Whereas the Shell Rock River Watershed District will be submitting a proposal to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency to conduct the following project, Fountain Lake Restoration Project. Whereas Andy Henschel, District Administrator, will be authorized to submit a proposal for the above mentioned project and shall have the authority to represent the district in all matters that do not specifically require action from this body. Whereas that submittal of a proposal does not obligate the district to accept a grant and/or a loan if so offered. Therefore, be it resolved, Andy Henschel, District Administrator, is authorized to submit a proposal to the MPCA and is the authorized representative for the district.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes, a question, any of these loans, and probably more specifically with the bonding, if we happen to get more, any money that we spend on projects before we would get additional bonding, is there any retroactive possibilities with the bonding, or are we on our own until we actually get more bonding money?
Joe, the short answer to your question is no. They usually do not retroactively pay for previous work done. Either does the loan programs don't as well. So for instance, for the application we're looking at now would be just for expenses in the 2021 season. However, with that being said, bonding, what we're looking for the bonding is for what we are calling phase 3 or the last phase of the Fountain Lake Restoration Project. The other thing to note that with this with this loan application, we will have some expenses because we have to do a bond rating for the loan program itself to be qualified. We did have a bond rating done in 2017. I'm working with or trying to reach out to the MPCA to see if that one is still good for 2021. However, I don't know that it is. So it's possible that there will be some expenses from the board if we move forward with this to receive another bond rating for the 2021 season. The other interesting thing about the Clean Water Loan Program is once you spend 75% of that loan, you are eligible, I believe, for up to an additional $500,000 without redoing your bond rating as well. The other thing to note again is it is 0% right now. He did say that, don't expect it to stay at 0%. The other thing he noted is you don't have to start the payback until after 3 years. And then after that, you have 10 years to pay it back, again, at 0% interest. I told him that the district's payment would be through our local option sales tax that is generated, not through additional bonding through the county. So that was how I relayed on to him how we would repay that. Also talking with him If the district would like at some point to do some additional bonding, this is not held against the district as far as its bond rating. So every way I looked at it, as of right now, with all the information I have, it's a win-win for the district if we can move this forward and get acceptance from the PCA for their clean water loan program.
Any other discussion? Leah, call the roll.
Manager Pasuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, managers, and thank you, Mr. Chair. The last item, item K, again, is a motion to authorize the payment of the project fund disbursements after the district financial tech subtracts out VITES Pay App 19 for $80,460.58. Again, we are working with Ramball on some of the final billing with VITE. And we just don't have all the data we need to be able to submit this payment at this time. So I'm looking for a motion to authorize payments minus the VITE Pay App 19.
Okay.
Make that motion, Joe.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Manager Pasuski,
Aye.
Manager Bakken,
Aye.
Manager Kramer,
Aye.
Manager DeBoer,
Aye.
Manager Pistorius.
Aye.
Thank you, managers, and Mr. Chair, and Mr. Chair, that's all I have.
Okay. Project Program Manager Courtney.
Yes, good morning. I just have two updates. The first is the Lessard Sam's Outdoor Heritage Council update. The MMB had underprojected what funds are going to be available for the Outdoor Heritage Fund for this year. And so there was actually an additional $17.4 million in funding that was available. The council decided to split that dollar amount between each proposal. So it ended up being an increase of about 16.6%. So in our case, we got an additional $211,000, making our total phase 8 allocation $1,547,000. So we just had to resubmit an additional work plan and sent that off, and that should be going through the legislative process, hopefully just fine. So always a good thing to get more funds for that. And if there are no questions, which I'm not hearing any, I will go to the next update, which is the Miller Tract update. The Miller Tract is a combination of the projects that are taking place on the U.S. Fish and Wildlife ground, as well as what we have purchased in the past using Lessard Sam's funding. This is encumbering the County Ditch 54 system. We currently have Bar Engineering working on the modeling of doing a reroute of tile for this property, as well as numerous tile breaks. They are in the process of doing that right now. Just wanted to update the board that we are going to have to be going to the county board as far as a petition process and an abandonment process. We have been keeping Pat Martinson, Cody Fox, and John Kolb in the loop for this. We will be meeting with local landowners once we have those findings of facts. So I just wanted to keep the board updated because that process will be moving pretty fast when we get the plans, being that we have a somewhat tight timeline on that project. So just wanted to keep everyone updated, and if there's any questions, I can take them.
Any
Hearing
questions?
none, that's all that I
Yeah.
had.
All right. Manager's report. Nick is not with us here today, so on the city and county meetings, unless anybody else has something to report. Joe, any?
No meetings that I'm aware of with the Lakes Foundation and the Citizen Advisory Board. Everybody's
Okay.
safe, I hope.
Any managers items? And how about upcoming meetings?
Yes,
And-
Mr. Chair, as far as right now, the only upcoming meeting at this time scheduled is the February 9th regular board meeting.
Okay. Anything else for today's meeting? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Want to call the roll?
Who was the second?
Joe.
Manager Pistorius? Or sorry, Manager Pasuski?
Aye.
Manager Bakken?
Aye.
Manager Kramer?
Aye.
Manager DeBoer?
Aye.
Manager Pistorius?
Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks everyone. Have a happy new year.
Thank you. Thank you.